First home game in charge, Jose Mourinho. Paul Pogba, will he start this evening or not? Jose says he will play some minutes.
You said that Paul Pogba can't last 90 minutes. He starts. How much are you hoping to get out of him?
I don't know. I just have on the bench two very good players on Herrera and Schneiderlin, and Carrick at home, or in the stands in this case. So we have lots of solutions and good solutions. So Paul is a young guy and he's working for 2 weeks almost, and he's naturally very physical. So I'm not expecting him to have big difficulties, but the intensity and the specificity of the game, you never know the way they are going to answer. So let's go and see what happens. But I have very good solutions to make changes if I want.
So Thierry and Pogba himself can't work out his best attributes. Ryan, you've played with him. What do you think?
No, I mean, he's a talent. You see the size of him there. The physicality of the Premier League ain't going to be a problem to him.
Yeah.
But it was interesting seeing that, you know, when Thierry asked him his qualities, he actually doesn't know his best qualities.
He said all of them.
Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with it. We've come away of sort of playing two in midfield and let them do everything. Let them one sit, one go forward, the other one sit, the other one go forward. I think he could do that for United. I think they could play with two. In the bigger games, they might have to tweak it a little bit. But he will bring physicality, he can score goals, run past the Ibrahimovic and Rooney's.
There's a lot of talk of, is he worth the fee? He doesn't get the goals that are sort of Luis Suarez, Messi, Ronaldo. But the Premier League, forget he's signing for Manchester United, have now got one of the best midfield players in the world. Jose Mourinho thinks he's one of the best players in the world. These players are normally going to Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
I talk to my kids. One of them's 12 years of age. They love Paul Pogba. I can stretch the button in the boots that he wears. I just can't get the Man United shirt yet, Ryan, I'm afraid. But I think that's what he does. He transcends the game.
How much are those boots?
Oh, they're a lot of money, Jeff. Don't ask. Don't ask. He paid for his birthday money. But you look at him, I think that he's got that star quality that not many players possess. And you're going to see goals, you're going to see assists. He's 23 years of age, and the way that he was in that interview, Thierry, I thought he was fantastic.
I think he's cool and relaxed, but I'm going to go back to what Ryan said. I mean, I played against that team so many times, but you guys were putting goals and assists on the board. Whoever it was, a bit less, I think, Roy Keane. And all the other guys, you guys were putting assists and goals. And at what point, I think, if he wants to have an impact in that team, he's going to have to put that on the board also. Not only doing everything well, I think you need at one point to bring that on the table.
Exactly. I think you have to be patient. He is only 23. Yeah. You don't see many midfielders running a game at 23, no matter how good they were. So they have to be patient as well.
It doesn't sound very patient when he says he wants to win the Premier League and he wants to win the Cup and he wants to win the Europa League. You know, he wants the old Manchester United roar of, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago back.
Yeah, it'll be a great atmosphere tonight. You know, evening games are always that much more special, different atmosphere, and it wouldn't surprise me if Ibrahimovic gets that first goal.
Stone Roses are playing. Do you think Man United have that fear factor back now?
Well, I think you look at the team, Pogba starting, Ibrahimovic, it's a team full of quality, and like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if Ibrahimovic scored.
I want to ask you a question, Ryan. I looked at the United team last week when they played against Bournemouth, and I felt, talk about the front six, only really Martial had that blistering pace. Do you think that's one area where they just lack, and that's why they probably brought Pogba in today, give him a bit more pace?
Yeah, maybe, you know, a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah.
Like you say, they're all players in the forward areas who can control the ball.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. The Premier League weekend starts here at a vibrant Old Trafford. A bit more up-tempo at Old Trafford than in some of the games over the last couple of years where there's been a certain anxiety. Martial, Rooney going through the centre, nothing wide right for the Frenchman at the moment, so he looked leftish to Ibrahimovic. Shaw. I think it was sad that we knew he would be here before the dust had settled on the FA Cup final. And here's Mata. Rooney, I think, really half thought about striking that from an improbable position. Mata. Ibrahimovic. Font was slightly miscalculated, but caught a bit of time. Pogba!
Didn't have much space, didn't have much time, but didn't hesitate to try his luck from that angle.
Cedric. One for Tadic to chase, but there's Eric Bailly showing that pace, and not only that, passing, keeping the ball in rather than just giving a cheap throw. Pogba picking up the baton and running with it from that piece of play by Eric Bailly. And Ibrahimovic leading the applause for the way Manchester United made their way down beneath us here. That's why Jose Mourinho likes Aaron Fellaini. Do you remember he put, I think it was Kurt Zuma, to mark him man for man in a Chelsea game against Manchester United. Wanted to take that direction in his career. Here's Cedric. Stopped by Blind. Pogba turning on the power, and Martial getting his sprinter's shoes going, but showed too much of it. He might like the ball played over the top as well as Redmond. Pogba. Gone out. Pogba. I think it's fair to say, Alan, that he's not going to be weighed down by the size of the fee, Paul Pogba.
No, that's fantastic to see, isn't it?
Højbjerg fizzing it in at Tadic, who had to stretch a bit too much and lost his balance, and consequently the ball. Bailly. Mata trying to drop one for Anthony Martial. Unable to control it. Ibrahimovic looking for Rooney, now looking for Pogba. United have got plenty forward here. A high boot by Ibrahimovic, when it would have counted. It's looped towards him by the head of Juan Mata.
You wouldn't have thought it would have counted, but what a delightful little dink this is into Juan Mata from Pogba.
Very good away record last season. Shaw. Pogba. Martial. That's the kind of service that they've been calling for, really, Redmond and Long. You can see why. I thought it was another chance to play it then for Højbjerg, but the whistle had already gone. Thought he was just here for the experience, and that it wasn't going to continue. It's been pretty easy with Paris Saint-Germain. You're looking at a man still with the hunger. Target. Pogba needed to get there, really, because Redmond was poised behind him. Pogba still going. Well, really should have been stopped, and he squeezed it wide to Martial. Carried away by Jose Font.
That's what Old Trafford wants to see. Pogba opening his legs and paging forward.
Jose Mourinho at pains to point out that just because it's a world record fee, Tadic. Martial. You can already see the work that Jose Mourinho has put in on the training ground with his players. Manchester United with the look of a Mourinho team. The away team has won the last 4 meetings between Manchester United and Southampton. United twice successful at St Mary's in the seasons, where the Saints got the points here.
Something again here.
Target. Knocked down by Blind and cleared by Fellaini. Pogba. Holding off Redmond and getting his pass away to Martial. Pogba strides on.
Well, even
Yeah,
ninth,
and
it'd be a great finish.
have a run in
this
the
year.
Europa League as well. Of course, they haven't. That would represent an improvement. They went out in the qualifying stages last season. Here's Rooney. Manchester United looking to absolutely wrap it up with a third. Mata blocked by target. Bailly coming up towards the near post. And Pogba.
I'm sure we'll see him score 1 or 2 goals in that kind of style this season. A bit like Ibrahimovic, a hard man to pin down if the ball's a good one, like that was.
The players get taller and more athletic. There's Pogba leaving 2 in his wake. Ibrahimovic for Martial.
Well, they really have turned up the heat last 5 minutes or so, and this is a great sight seeing Pogba in full flight. Just about hanging on by the skin of the teeth at the moment, Southampton.
Fellaini. Well, they'll be still feeling there's a lot to do in terms of the teamwork, Manchester United, but what they have got is the class in key attacking areas. The pass from Ibrahimovic to Martial just then could not have been weighted better. It's got to be the message from Claude Puel. Disarming Austin. Martial going through the gears. He's got overdrive too. That'll look good on the mats that the boys used back in the studio.